So it's said that the goal of human life is self-realization and to attain love for God. You know, so I'm just doing what I could in my own way.
How long did it take to put this together, Gaura-Vani?
Gaura-Vani actually took, I say, about 20 hours in the studio, and that's not with mixing and everything. That's just the actual playing of instruments.
Performances.
Yes.
Okay.
And Mr. Roger Israel was very helpful because this was my first studio experience. So I was a total noob,
yeah.
You know, in the studio. Before I was just recording on a cassette player at home and layering it, you know, track by track, just open air, you know, in my room. And the experience of doing that on my own too made it a bit better. It was a catalyst in the studio because I was aware of the philosophy in the studio. You know, how you do things in order.
Okay.
And redubbing and all that. So Roger didn't have a problem with me understanding what he was doing and doing it within 20 hours then. Because I say time is money.
That must have been a crunch time because to put together an album that essentially has 12 tracks on it, and to be such an intricate album for your first album, why don't you think of something easier to start with and then?
That's like, these songs were actually all written in the course of about, I'd say 8 or 9 months. It wasn't a planned arrangement or anything.
Okay.
Because let me see. A couple of these I actually started writing at the end of 1996, and I finished high school in 97. So during that summer, I got down to it at home. I said, okay, it's an accomplishment I would like to have on my general resume. You know, that, you know, I recorded my first album at this age.
Local recording artist.
Yeah, something like that. You know, and boost from there. You know.
When you write, where do you pull your influences and your inspiration from?
Actually, I'm not ashamed to say first would be God, because from Him comes all talent, and this is why we should everything we do. We're not all the musicians or artists, but in any work you do, you try to do it as an offering to God. And this way you'll be successful. Even if it's not material success, it's part of your spiritual bank account, which never is depleted. So first I would say God, Krishna, according to the Vedic scriptures. Secondly, life experiences, experiences with members of the opposite sex, girls and women now, because I'm now a man, not a boy anymore, you know. So back a lot of experiences with crushes on girls, wanting to be close to them, know them, that kind of stuff. But growing up, you know, it's always it's a time where you're not sure what to do, how to act to get what you want, you know, which you don't even know what you want at that time, you know. So a lot of the lyrics more on the second and the third albums, predating Gaura-Vani's lyrics.
Okay, Rahil, we're going to take a short break and come back to talk about some more of those experiences, because there are 2 other albums for us to go through, and of course a 4th is on the way. Stay tuned, you're watching the Win TV News Extra. With me this evening is Mr. Rahil Babooram, local musician and artiste. Stay tuned. Welcome back, you're watching the Win TV News Extra. With me this evening is Mr. Rahil Babooram, a local musician. We're talking about Rahil's experiences, and of course in his first one, it being such a spiritual one, he began to talk about, you know, life and those adolescent years leading up to the second and third albums. On your second album, Simply Rahil, the themes you seem to experience and express are matters of the heart, confidence in yourself and that sort of thing. Where did that come from?
Well, most of these songs were actually written between 1995 and 1997. So this was when I was finishing my last 2 years of high school. I actually went to Presentation College. And it's a boys' school. So you're wondering what girls are talking about. But the thing is, they introduced some girls to our school during the 80s. So this was like a new experience for all of us. You know, so that's when we started to talk to girls. You know, just for the last 5 years we were like, you know, underexposed.
Yeah.
You know, so there were a couple of girls who inspired me to write certain things, and they actually approved of the songs. You know, even if maybe years later they got to hear them. You know, they liked the songs too. So that was like an accomplishment in itself. You know, but the fact is, these songs are older than the songs on Gaura-Vani, all half of them. You know, but they were not priority for me to do first. They on cassettes from all the years before, just waiting to be done in the studio. So when I finished Gaura-Vani, it was a matter of promoting Gaura-Vani and trying to see how successful it could be in terms of sales and radio airplay. And as well playing out live, promoting the stuff live on stage. Meanwhile, whatever experiences I've had in life that inspired me, I kept writing in my little lyrics book. And eventually decided, okay, I want to try a second album. Try something different. Did a little different direction, because a couple of the songs are spiritual too. But it's like a 14-track album. So out of that, I would say maybe 2 are spiritual this time.
Tell me about Red Electric Pole.
Okay. I was actually discussing this yesterday with the subject of the song. Yeah, she finally heard it after 14 years. You know.
And what did she think?
She's married now, but the fact is she was impressed. You know, she didn't know all this was going on.
And she tore your heart out and stopped.
She didn't even really know it was going on to do anything about it. You know, but the fact is, Red Electric Pool. She asked me why the name. I'm guessing that's your reason for asking too. You know, when we were sitting in class at the time, there was a little field outside the classroom where there was a pool, a red electric pool, standing there feeding whatever electricity lines for the school. So instead of looking at her and
you would look out the window and daydream.
And I happened to see this thing and say, okay, let me make it a little offbeat.
Yeah.
You know, and it's called That Red Electric Pool.
And of course, there is a love song.
Right. This was written in 2004, and yeah, again, I was about a girl, and she liked it, and not only she, but a lot of people who heard it afterwards live, they liked it. It was actually played a lot more live before it was recorded on CD, and got a lot of good reviews before, so I knew this was surely one I wanted to record professionally in studio. And it's very straightforward, you know, expressing how you feel.
It sounds as if from album to album there is a certain amount of confidence that you've gained as you go through the creative process, and of course now we come to Orange.
That's right.
And this looks as if it explores a lot of your talent, particularly on the acoustic guitar.
Yes, actually. Is that Orange is called so because it's my favorite color.
Okay.
As you may realize right now, you know, I love it, and I try to have my CDs always featuring that color too. If you
yes, because you do see it in Gaura-Vani, you see it in Simply
It's
Rahil.
creeping up along the
yes,
way.
And in Orange, of course, it's in full blue.
Yes, a climax of Orange. You know, so actually Orange, some of the songs are around the same era of writing as Simply Rahil, but each album was selected so that everything wouldn't sound the same. You know, so it's a transition I'm trying to portray from album to album. Orange actually, as you say, the acoustic, it's about half of the songs you would hear more acoustic guitar than on the other albums, you know, which are more electric based. You know, there's one song with harmonica in it actually, the mouth organ, and that's a song called Sweet, which was, this is an old song to 1996, I wrote that. And the fact is that around this time when I started playing these songs live is when I was more established in the public playing. So a lot of these songs the public heard before the CD was recorded, say between 2005 and 2007. Around that time I was playing these songs live. So the picture in the back here is also from that time.
Yes.